Yeah,
It was
going deaf.
That was that comical feedback, like TV
It's
show.
amazing he ever thought that was a good thing to do. Like nobody likes that.
Likes a little
The
feedback.
feedback when you put the fucking guitar in front of the speaker.
Just for like maybe 1 sec. Like Hendrix kind of did it nice.
But it's almost like when a poker player, like, or if you're really good, you start doing bad moves on purpose.
Yeah.
Because if you just saw a guy put feedback on a guitar, you're like, this guy fucking sucks.
Yeah.
You're like Larry Bird shooting left-handed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Except for he'd rip it left-handed.
Oh, it was amazing.
Yeah. On the Texas swing, he'd play left-handed.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Noonan Show.
Didn't
everybody.
raise his first child either.
That's Dan Boulger right there. Hilarious comedian, close friend of mine.
Never got that to work. Larry Bird abandoned his first child, yet I still wish he was my dad.
You never got that to work?
I just, no.
In Boston?
fair.
Didn't work the one time I said it at Capo.
It's tough to do Larry Bird jokes or Kennedy jokes, Tom Brady, anti-Tom Brady jokes. Like those certain things are just...
Yeah.
I've done all of those, except for Larry Bird. Larry Bird didn't work.
You can do an anti-Tom Brady joke in New England, do you think, and get it to work?
I did a deflate thing.
Oh, yeah.
But people were so sick of that at one point, so you might have gotten away
It's almost
with
like a Goodell joke at that
Yeah.
point. So Dan Bulger. Ooh, I just
Oh, fuck.
dropped my wallet.
Cut.
Did you hear the heft of that thing? Holy shit. Felt like a fucking...
Nissan money.
Dan Bulger.
Am I right? Nissan?
It's Honda.
Fuck.
But
All
you know
right.
what? I think that's fine. Like
My-
I knew it was a
Family.
car. I knew it wasn't a
We like-
motorcycle.
Exactly, see?
I like it when people do that actually because it's just sort of I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't even matter.
What, be wrong?
Well, like we're like
You would love this
This might be
Donald
the
Trump.
stonedest I've ever been to start the show. Me and Dan smoked at my place, then came over here and smoked Paul's great weed. And
I thought
can-
this was getting Doug high.
Yeah, this is like an episode, an
Yeah,
impromptu.
dude.
That guy found a niche.
Yeah, he sure did. He's high all the time.
He's high the whole time. I had to follow him once. It was impossible.
Really?
He was drunk as shit and high to the point where his eyes weren't even open.
But the
And
one
it was
eye.
so impressive that there were like even fucking words coming out of his mouth that it was hard to see him. I was drunk,
Yeah,
but it seemed like I was trying too hard.
it's funny. He doesn't like me for some
And he's
reason.
funny.
He doesn't
He's
really like me. Oh shit.
Do you know him?
Not really. That's the thing. Like on
Well, that's probably why he doesn't like you.
no on Twitter, like he gave me some shit. Like I never like contacted him or did anything, but I think there was a period of time where that Getting Dug with High show was really popular and people were hitting him up like, you should put Will on, and he was like, who is this dude? Like, and why are people bugging me about it?
Yeah.
So he blocked me on Twitter, blocked me, even though I had never or
Okay.
something. Oh no!
Or he's just like,
it was
there can't be
John
another
Hamm.
weed person.
I made fun of John Hamm. in
What'd
a
you say
tweet.
about John Hamm?
I said I'm sick of John Hamm getting A+ laughs on B- jokes, like or something. It was
Okay.
like it was a real offhanded. I'm watching Saturday Night Live type of thing, and I was just like, I'm sick of seeing John Hamm in comedic settings. He's not that fucking funny.
But I think that's why he's funny.
Well, whenever like Brad,
Is he's
I
willing to
love
be the
Brad
guy,
Pitt.
the straight guy in the middle.
I guess so, but I just don't really like the whole.
Like Charles Barkley is funny,
It always-
but he's funny for a fucking basketball player.
That's what I'm
Whereas
saying.
Shaq is trying to be funny and stinks.
It's like when the quarterback from the high school football team dresses up like a cheerleader for a pep rally, and everyone's like, "Oh my God, he's funny! Not
Yeah.
only is he a great athlete and a great Christian, but he's also hilarious."
Yeah.
It just kind of irks me in this weird
and
way.
then he
You're definitely-
Benson-
Or John
Yeah.
Hamm or anything.
Coming for you, Benson.
So then he said like this stinks or whatever, and then I had a bunch of people brigading me over like John Hamm and stuff, and I was just like, why is
John
like
Hamm.
Doug Benson sicking these people on me? And then I blocked him. That was the thing. I blocked him. So anyway, then I walk off stage at Skankfest and like I see Doug Benson like smoking weed and we're like in the same green room, and it was just like, hey, it was just awkward.
Did he know who
Yeah.
you were?
Who fucking knows?
Do you
But
think
anyway.
he's ever like enough of the fucking weed? Like I needed a couple
I was
days
wondering
off.
that, man. I was thinking that because at Skankfest it was like a circle of people around him, and they were just all handing him weed.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like almost like if you smoke my weed, it's like blessed by you, and we all get to live another day.
Yeah. I'm more of a smoke pot audiobook guy.
I like
I don't like it to be my whole
exercise. I
thing.
like a walk.
Oh
and
yeah, elliptical machine. You
walk
forget
or a
you're even
jog.
there.
Yeah, smoke weed, throw on a podcast or an album of a sort, and then run around.
Like getting dug with high.
Yeah, I think the guy. I think he's a talented motherfucker. I own Super High Me on DVD. Like I was a fan of his.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just thought it was the only thing that I didn't like was why is this guy kind of. This was years ago too. This wasn't like any time. I had zero going
that's
on.
why it never made sense.
So I was like, why are you? I'm just a guy who does his own podcast.
I think it is.
Hypothetically.
He saw like one weed thing. It was
It's not
Yeah.
like one guy with like a little weed niche. But it was just odd. It always kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And then I sort of watched. He did another documentary, and I was like, he's got a little bit of an edge.
Oops, sorry.
You know, I felt like he's got a little bit of an edge.
I like
to him.
that show he had, the Benson Interruption.
Yeah.
Where he sits in a chair and he sits on people. I wish there was a show like that around here.
He had a judge show too called High Court.
Yeah, that was
High
funny.
Court.
It was
Wow,
a little
goofy, but
This is literally the most I've ever thought
I know
about
we've never
Doug
talked.
Benson.
I know. Let's get off of it. Actually, I feel bad
Yeah.
because I'm like I never did anything to this guy
But you're
except trash him for 10 minutes on my show called
Yeah.
the Noonan Show. Happy to have my good friend Dan here, the most famous. My tagline on you every time you get off stage at Capo, I'm like, he's the most famous Boulger to ever come from Southie.
Oh, I never hear that over the booze.
Speaking of Southie, though, it's I was mentioned, Dan, on a pod. Don't you love it when you're mentioned on other shows and you get to go listen to it? It's biggest guarantee to get me to listen to something is to say like,
Oh, say your name on
say
it?
someone goes, oh, like Will Noonan was mentioned on like the Sunny.
Yeah.
Sunny.
The only podcast I listen to every day is the NBC Evening News, so I would really have to do something.
You serious?
Yeah. Oh, it's great. It's like PTI for the news. It's like 15 minutes long.
Wouldn't that be freaky though if you did hear yourself?
Yeah.
Who's the host?
At
of that?
large.
There you go.
Who's the host? Who reads
Huh?
it? Who does it?
Lester Holt.
Lester Holt.
He's got different glasses every day. You can't tell that through the podcast, though.
Does he wear different glasses? Every
It feels like he wears different glasses every day. I also watch the NBC
gotta
Evening News,
spend a fortune.
but that's just because its lead in is Jeopardy.
Dan watches it and then listens to it, and he sits there with a pen and paper, like
transcribes.
you're keeping
Yeah,
score
yeah.
at a baseball game, and you're like, oh, they dropped a couple of adverbs.
Or that guy who on the golf who calls in the birds. Remember there were birds?
Oh, yeah.
And a guy called in and complained like, "Hey, those birds aren't indigenous."
Yeah, they're fit. You're piping those in.
Yeah. Wouldn't you love to watch a show about that guy?
I
Like
would
his
actually.
whole life. He must be the biggest fucking pain in the balls.
Sometimes I have little things irk me though that I want to write letters, and I'll catch myself. I haven't done this in a really long time.
Have you ever
but
written your congressman?
I have. I really
Whoa,
have.
no shit.
I'm a bit of a letter writer. I haven't done it in a really long time.
What'd you write the congressman about?
I wrote the congressman about the driver retraining program that exists in Massachusetts for when you get a certain amount of tickets, you have to go take this class that's mandatory. That's
Wait,
not.
did this happen to you?
It's happened to me twice.
Oh, okay. So you seem like you'd have a bias.
Oh, I have a huge bias, but I mean, it's one of those sort of who writes in about welfare, but someone on welfare.
On welfare,
you know?
that is fair.
You know, it's kind of like you've experienced this.
Yeah.
What bothers me is it's a private. You're put into a private. It's just like prison. You're put into the private sector, and now it's all crap. But they have a huge power over you. They can take your driver's license away, which is
Okay, sure.
So the state of Massachusetts is giving the driver's license control to a private company who is fucking squeezing money out of the people, and that's a congressman letter.
Plus, you were lumped into violent offenders,
Yeah, I
like
was in there-
drunks, where he's just a parking ticket.
Who
I had
is
to
our
write- I had to write my own
representative?
Fucking, I read Nick Collins.
No, Bill now. Nick Collins has moved on.
To what? Dead?
No, he's on whatever the next level is.
Rest in peace, Nick Collins.
Taken up.
Bless up.
Yeah.
So,
See, doesn't local politics just feel like college sports? Like I like
yeah.
the president. That's like the Celtics.
it is kind of like that.
I mean, I'm sure it's not true. I'm sure it's completely wrong.
There's as many indictments in the NFL as there are in politics right now.
Oh, Marty.
Anyway, well, check this out. I was mentioned on a podcast. And
Do you mean Antonio Brown?
I was talking about Antonio Brown and
Is it-
Marty Walsh's like circle of friends.
Oh, I got you.
Marty Walsh is getting the whole like treatment that kind of Trump has, which is like around him people are getting.
Yeah. They're like, can't get you, buddy, but
Yeah.
Teflon Don. They call him.
On Don.
I think that name's been taken, but under different.
That was John Gotti.
John
was the
Gotti,
Teflon
right?
Don.
But this guy's name is Don.
Damn right. All right. Maureen, Heather, they rule.
Thursday or
Cotton Southie podcast. There you go.
Stop. What is this?
This is the Cotton Southie podcast that
Will Noonan
Maureen
mentioned.
Dayhill and Heather Foley do.
It's a really great podcast.
It's a
Okay.
super, super great podcast. I've been a guest on
So
it.
we've stopped our podcast to listen to a
This
podcast?
is what we do, man. We,
Oh, like
About
highlights?
Will, though.
we do yeah, they're going to talk about me in a second.
Oh, cool. I wasn't told that.
No,
Yeah.
I know.
So I Chinese sauce, you know what? Chinese
right
sausages
after this.
I'm up at work. I had them pink ones expired.
So-
The customer service desk there. And
We're still learning how to do a show.
I'm reminded why I.
No, this is good radio.
Basically saying, just cook them and eat.
It's 2029.
Yeah,
No, it's
so we'll
2008.
see.
There we go.
So tell Mike it.
I am gonna, because I.
What's it called? Don't Stop and Shop?
Yeah.
Oh, stop. Don't
Don't tell him you
stop and don't shop. I get it.
When you walk through, you miss.
Wouldn't it be great if that Stop and Shop was a Trader Joe's?
Oh, it has to be. That's
I
the
think-
worst Stop and Shop.
It's the worst, but it would be the best Trader Joe's.
If somebody has a great spot to get Chinese sausages, so
Here we
I
go.
won't have to step foot in that Stop and Shop again. Let me know.
Okay, so now they can hear it.
Koenig doesn't do those.
No,
I feel
Jesus.
like the hot pink ones from there.
And they.
I'm sorry. I thought it was right after the sausage.
How many podcasts are in South Boston? Do we know this? I think there's 20. You could do a
don't even know if
Southie
there's 20.
Pod Fest.
Or like the podcast Olympics where we challenge them to events.
We did do a pod.
What?
They did do a
Oh,
podcast
shit.
at Laugh
Yeah.
Boston, and we were both on it.
No way. I was on it?
No, me and my podcast
Oh,
and Caught
okay.
Up was both on the Podfest at Laugh Boston.
No way. When was
This
this?
was like, I don't know, a year ago.
I've been in a coma for 2.5 years.
That's a it's diabetes.
It's subterranean living.
Okay, so here we go. We're right here now.
And he's literally like, he's not disappointing in the role of wacky neighbor.
That's me. She lives across the street from me.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
He's on
hilarious.
the first floor, and he has his windows are always open. So whenever he's like a dog, whenever a car pulls up, he's in the window
Yeah.
looking. And
Like
if he,
Mrs. Kravitz.
not like a Mrs. Kravitz, more like I'm trying to think of like what's like a wacky neighbor, like
Kramer?
like yes,
Schneider.
maybe like Kramer, or maybe not so much as Schneider, but maybe like Kramer.
Yeah, you're
or
a slightly more
Squeaky.
racist Kramer.
Yeah, exactly.
Squeaky.
I have my own Squeaky.
He only said the M-bomb on
all of a
video
sudden,
once.
He
Yeah.
pops up and he opens his.
I do this. I do this to you, Dan.
And like hangs his elbow, like he did to that. Remember we saw in his
Yes.
old apartment.
It's very reminiscent of
Talk to you about the window.
Yes.
Mary.
Yeah.
I love-
Mary Lester.
I love that.
Two or something. Did I just see that?
I don't know. I'd watch Jack Hay in anything.
Oh,
so
yeah,
if it
there's
does, I
Jack
hope
Hay.
she's in it.
Jack A.
So
Harry.
yeah,
So she lives down?
Okay.
So he'll like
Up
poke
from
his
you.
head out and be like,
She's
"Hey,"
across the street.
Across the
Her and
street.
her
Wow,
husband,
what are the
Peter.
odds?
I mean, for your sake, I hope this just is a new thing that we're
I don't
She's so
know.
Because it sounds exhausting.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm gonna have to start wearing disguises.
Yeah.
But anyway, so he's over there now, and so far he's not disappointed in the Kramer role.
Nice.
I mean, you don't
wacky
want to
neighbor.
have to pepperoni his car.
I know, which
but
leads me up to the conversation.
So they go in.
Yeah, that's nice, man. So check out their podcast. It's good anyway. It's just a really interesting. I gotta. So, dude, she's the most Southie person, the right kind too. Like, because people will say, oh, someone's a Southie person. They're kind of talking about a certain type of like cigarette
And-
smoking scratch.
And there's like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
violence to
Like,
it. Yeah.
she is like
Pro Keno
I'm
player.
talking like she is the, a good, like well-to-do,
Yeah.
but like lifelong. Because so I happened to run into her and her husband when I was parking my car, and I'm walking. So I walked like 4 blocks through Southie with them, and I never had that experience. And it was like walking through Washington D.C. with someone who was once the president of the United States. Like it was like every it was like she knew something about every single thing we walked by.
I'm positive that's not true of the president of the United States. There's no way this Obama can't tell you where to get
Or
a
like
good.
someone who had worked
Tell
in
you who knows where to get a
Washington.
good roast beef.
No,
is
she's
Barack
not-
Obama.
It was like a Senate aide, maybe someone who knew everything about every
Senate
play.
aide might know.
There you go.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
a better
yeah.
example.
She does what they pretend
Senate aide
to
gets
do.
a lot of coke.
Yeah, but she does it. She builds like a real community. She got pretty much her and her husband got the parking lot of
They
the
did. They
place
changed.
paved.
They're the ones that got the
Like
Stop and Shop parking lot redone.
Oh, that's great.
She and her like little collection have done more for Southie than most of the
You know how they
politicians.
use the
yeah.
term influencer?
Yeah,
She
it's
actually
real.
has
That's a legit
influence.
Southie influencer.
She has influence. So we're walking back and we're shooting the shit. They're great. Like they're like one of those couples that are like funny and shit and like work off each other and stuff. They like almost have like a Burns and Allen thing going. They've been together so many years. And we're walking and we're walking out and there's like a couple fighting like in their apartment.
Who
And
the
then
fuck are Burns and Allen?
you know Burns and Allen?
No.
It's
For a second, I thought hockey.
George Burns and his wife. They were like a classic.
Oh, I didn't know George Burns.
They were husband and wife comedy team. Come on, man.
Sorry, I was mad about it.
1930s.
My Adam Oates.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Is this not a
Burns and
timely
Allen.
reference,
Oh,
Dan,
no.
that you don't just get?
I
Not
bet it
only
was
am I-
funny. I like George Burns.
Not only am I referencing George Burns, but young George Burns.
He's me tooing that lady.
That's his wife.
Life. Which
at
may
that.
or may not be
That's not
fine.
his wife. You don't touch your wife like that.
I think he used to.
So anyway,
he
we're
had
walking-
crazy eyebrows.
He did. That was his. Well, he obviously used them before he
Yeah.
had the cigar. Or he had the eyebrows.
I thought he was just with the two old guy movies. Oh God,
Oh yeah.
or something.
Anyway, we walked by.
I thought he made
an
it when he was
apartment.
90.
There's a couple fighting, and we listened to their fight from the
Struggled
outside.
for 82 years, and then he hit it.
Over 1960.
Persistence.
It is great. His wife finally died. He finally shook that dead weight of Alan. He's like, finally, in my 80s, I could do this thing.
Yeah. It's like when Andy Richter left.
She stops.
I gotta tape that for you. I'm gonna tape next week. That's a new edition. Pillow this week. Next week I'm gonna
Tape that on. That's 2 weeks in a row. I'm just too. I like to move it a lot.
You do move a lot, yeah.
It's the Schultz move of like, it's like I'm on stage.
But what you're talking about is hilarious in Southie when you
Oh.
walk by and you hear
This is why
couples
we can
fighting
never
in the
clip-
first floor.
We can never get clips because we're so tangential on this show. But yeah, me and Peter and Maureen, we were walking and we're like, hear this huge fight happening. And it was like over someone had made a mess. Like, you're always leaving your shit around. It wasn't like,
Oh, this woman would hate me.
it wasn't a big fight, but it was one of those. And it was so funny. They just immediately like go into like this mode, and we're all in this mode where we're listening, and like she was in her zone. You know what I mean? It was like it was the same way Bradford talked about Wiggy went into like his athletic beast mode.
yeah.
It was like Maureen was like she was just in her, and I was like, this is like watching, like this is a master at work right here. It was very cool.
Do you know what cracks me up about her too? People will tweet her. They're like, "I heard a loud noise. What was this, Maureen?"
I do it too. I ask
She's
her.
like, "I'll look into it." That's
Yeah.
what her T-shirt needs
Wow.
to be. I'll
Yeah.
look into it.
She's a great person. Her and her husband and Heather Foley too. They're all great people to know. They know everything. If you have any like wonders about Southie, they know everything and everyone.
Yeah, there's so many transplants here now that
It's crazy. You know how many people are talking about how many people there are, right? Obviously, new people. I think we may have almost doubled the amount of dogs in Southie overnight last
I
month.
think so too.
Right?
I noticed
Have
that
you noticed
too.
that?
It's so good.
There's so many fucking dogs in South Boston.
they're fucking.
There's like they're all fucking, but it's their. I was thinking that. So we watch my girlfriend's friend's dog sometimes, and the dog has its own Instagram. Then the dog's dog walker has an Instagram. So I follow both of them. The dog walker is just walking like 45 dogs a day.
There's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better thing you can do.
It looks like they're probably making money. I was wondering if you.
They make. It would surprise you what they make.
Do you think
I
there's-
was at a bus stop with a lady that said she walks 7 dogs a day. She got
she was at a bus stop?
so she said she was making like $75 a dog. times 7.
Not
That's great. A day. That's
Under-
great,
I bet
right?
you-
Good.
A bunch
And
of
but
it's
then
under
she
the
goes
table.
home where she has 2 dogs. That's a fucking crazy woman.
Well, I guess.
Enough of the
Dog
dogs.
woman.
By the fucking end of the day,
Yeah. Get a
leave
fish.
work at work.
Yeah. You know what? Her dog's at home probably like don't get walked that much. She probably
Oh
has to-
yeah,
she probably has to
neglected as
pay a
shit.
dog walker.
You ever see a landscaper's yard? Horrible.
Ah, contractor's house. Always the
Contractor's
shittiest
house is
in
a
the
piece
block.
of shit.
Hairdresser's hair.
Yep.
Gross.
Comedian's sense of happiness.
Cooks chicken, diarrhea giving.
You're
No,
quite-
I'm tired of cooking this chicken. This one's done.
What else you got for us, Paul? Paul gets all these great stories.
What do you want to do? Do you want to do Florida men? We got some Florida men trying to do good
what's
things
with
out
Dan?
there.
Dan-
Yeah, that's a
Somebody
good
told
idea.
me, I don't know how to read.
You see
Okay.
anything
Somebody
that
told
hits
me
your-
that Florida, all the stories come out of there because they have different libel laws. Is that a thing?
Yeah, I think it's like a. Yeah, exactly. They have to come out so you can't hide things. So every single thing that goes on public record is immediately available for everyone to see.
Okay, whereas here it's what?
We can hide whatever they want, pretty
Really?
much. For a certain period of time, I think.
Okay.
Let's do board polo.
Oh, yeah.
Marco Polo?
This is a future sport.
This was something. I love new sports. I want people to always be inventing new sports. We always need new.
We need
fucking
something,
sports. Well, I love sports, so I always want to be able to watch something at all times. And you know, there's not always a
The
game.
summer
on.
definitely needs a new sport.
Yeah, I'm like,
Why isn't beach volleyball a bigger sport?
it's actually
Well, it's
kind
for
of
a
on
little
a lot.
while.
It's on,
But it
FS1.
hasn't caught on.
I don't know though.
It
Down
feels
here
like
in
it'd be a
Southie,
great
there's-
gambling thing.
It should. You know, it's like Jai.
Yeah, Jai. It's typically attractive people.
Oh, this is like the actual like explanation of it.
Yes, let's try to find something.
We were
nice to
watching
play.
it was on Periscope or something.
Yeah.
It seemed like they really want to make this happen.
So this is the gist.
Yeah, so this is how it,
while riding on your skateboard.
it's not even really like they're on skateboards though. They're on those kind of skateboards where you don't have to take your
I saw a guy take fucking face plant on one of those wheel skateboards yesterday.
Well, oh yeah, it's just one big
Yeah.
wheel. Oh, please.
Hundreds of people pointed and laughed.
Felt so good.
Where
yeah.
was it?
Where the fuck was it? It was like Washington Street or something.
Downtown.
Like South End kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it was wonderful.
I have seen those. I've seen some people really like flying on the remote controlled skateboards.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude,
Concrete hurts.
if you hit a pebble going down a hill, you really take quite a
yeah. If you
spill.
fall off a surfboard, you land in water. And maybe it'll be a shark there too.
Yeah, and a lot of people who talk
There's-
about.
concrete will fuck you.
I saw a girl, kind of a badass chick. I remember thinking she looked like just a regular 20-something kind of office working chick.
Yeah.
but she was riding this sort of like a Yamaha type bike. It all kind of didn't match up. I was like, that's something you don't see. And she was in traffic, so she's only going 15. And the light turned green, and she hit her thing, and the car in front of her swerved, and she swerved, and she didn't hit anything, but she swerved into one of those potholes that's just like this big. The whole fucking bike tipped over. And she fell off the bike. Not like she didn't get hurt, but the mirror was broken off the bike.
Yeah.
And like, two people had to come out.
But
and
isn't
help
it
her.
like just the future fails in front of you?
But I was just going, if that huge ass motorcycle with two big wheels just fell in a tiny little pothole, like all these people on scooters and one wheel things, and they're going 15, 20.
Yeah.
Bam, you're just dead.
Yeah. No, and you'll go catapulting down the street. Like
I was driving.
Isn't
my
it weird
car.
how the
I feel like when
future-
I drive now, I'm just like I just.
Well, you're pretty high too.
Yeah, I am.
But the future just kind of like shifted. Like it didn't get better. Like it just kind of like it was like kids smoking when we were kids. We got to get kids to stop that. And now they vape.
Yeah.
It's not didn't improve. It just shifted. And now it's like, oh, you gotta get people to wear motorcycle helmets and shit. That was the thing when we were kids.
Yeah.
And now they're on fucking electric scooters.
That was the big
going
push.
through city traffic.
Yeah, helmet
flip
lock.
flops.
In flip flops.
And it's I love
it's-
they all have so those scooter things. I use those a lot. I've used 3 of the different.
I haven't done the
brands.
scooters yet. I'm big on. I like biking.
I've used that a lot too.
Yeah, that thing's great.
I've tried.
We'll do
all
that
3
next
brands.
week. We're gonna go to the Red Sox. We won't sit through rush hour.
We'll bike
We'll
there.
pedal along.
I do it. I've done it many times. I pedal to Laugh Boston a lot and to Faneuil Hall. That's a good one. From here to
Oh, it's
Faneuil Hall
fucking
back.
15 minutes.
Yeah, but I've used the scooters a lot, and what's funny is they all have a different. One of them makes you take a picture of your driver's license to prove that you have a license. One of them just makes you hit a button that's like, "Are you 16?" And another one hits a button that's just like, "Do you consent?" So like, no one has any real.
Once you show it your license, shouldn't it be like, well, then why are you taking this?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then I love that. It's like, yeah, I'm just fucking photographing my driver's
Yeah,
license.
yeah,
and
yeah.
sending
Just
it
give
to
me
some
your-
app. It's a dummy. I signed so much shit that's just
Oh yeah. Remember the Yoders in Midwest?
Yoders.
The Yoders, they book like Dr. Grins.
Oh, I never
They were like
did
big
'em.
Midwest bookers. But I remember like I was emailing them years ago. I never email anyone. And the guy's like, yeah, just send me your avails and your address and your soch. And that was the last time I ever heard from him. I'm like, well, that wasn't a good exchange at
Yeah,
all.
the socials.
Give me your soch. Why do you need it, comedy booker?
I give that. I don't really give it to bookers, but I do. A lot of people have my social.
Yeah. I'm impressed on how you even proceed from there. If I'm stealing from you.
I've had my identity stolen from. I've had it's called identity theft, but I've had the ATM card get scanned twice.
Oh, the Crone was telling me about
Yeah,
this.
twice it's
Dan
happened.
Crone.
It's like a fisher. It scans and will duplicate the numbers.
Yeah. But people put it in the ATM itself. It's like
Yeah.
a scanner
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, right on where you would put your card in. Like right
it
there,
looks
right in
the
front
same.
of it.
It's happened to me twice. One time it was in. It sounds so bad, but it was like I was in Roxbury. It was like it's a terrible neighborhood. I was there to buy drugs,
Mm-hmm.
and I fucking had.
Say drugs, say weed.
It was
Sounds
weed,
so
but,
much worse.
But like, let's be honest. Saying weed kind of puts a sugar coating on what I was really doing, which was buying.
Yeah, but there is a sugar coating on it.
yeah,
Yeah, but it was.
that's why it's weed.
But it's to make.
I thought you were getting some X.
No, I was.
That's what it
just buying-
sounded like. He's like, I was getting,
Yeah.
getting a
I
little
was
crack
buying weed,
cocaine.
but it sort of makes. If you're gonna make the story like you deserve to get fucking like screwed in these scenarios, it's like I went to a shitty neighborhood to like buy.
Yeah.
This is before weed was legal, and I go to this gas station.
Did you at least get a slice of pizza or something? Support the local economy?
Well, that's the thing. I went to
You
a local
fucking
gas station because
libertarian.
my car was running out of fucking gas. I was like, oh.
It is, yep, that is a good place to go for gas. It's always a little cheaper.
And then I go and I'm like, the gas pump like credit card reader had like this huge fucking contraption on it, and I'm like, this reeks of bad news, but I'm gonna run out of gas. So what can I do? And I use it, and it was like a week later.
You amazed at how many gas stations will say like, "Hey, cash is cheaper"?
Oh yeah,
That's clearly to skirt the tax man.
exactly what it is.
But I mean, could there be an easier thing for the IRS to be
so
like,
just like, hey, look at that
"Hey,
sign.
something's fishy about this"? Why are they doing that?
Clearly to skirt the tax man. It's true. They do that. A lot of businesses. I love it when they're like cash only.
Cash.
Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, wouldn't if you were the IRS guy, wouldn't you just be like, I'm just gonna camp out here and fucking I'm gonna let them add up a little.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'll have a big bust at the end of the year. I'll give them cash.
It's true though. Like it almost like their acknowledgement that the tax laws are screwed up. They're like, yeah, let's let people steal a little bit,
Yeah.
blatantly steal.
I think
I mean,
it's too- I think that's
bartenders,
the thing.
every bartender, I would just be
They
like,
get
you.
it.
That's an understanding.
They get it?
That's an understanding that hey, bartenders, waiters.
Yeah, you're just
allowed
creating a middle class person. So,
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's an
that's exactly
understanding
what it is.
yeah.
of we're not going to tax you on tips. Tips are is
Your
considered a
tax is
gift,
the
and-
alcoholism that you will get.
But also, you can't. That's a gift. Like
That is a
technically.
gift.
Yeah. It would almost be. It would be pretty horrible to tax bartenders on.
Oh, it would be
They-
because you're
they
not
do
going
in some
after.
places. Like it's like a lump charge on their credit card tips because that's the difference. That's why you should always
And
tip a
it's-
bartender with cash.
A lot of
yeah.
So they don't have to
bartenders
claim the money.
I've had comedian friends be like, I'm kind of worried I haven't paid taxes in like 5 years. And I'm like, you owe them like $37.
Yeah, I know.
You'll be fine,
Like,
yeah.
just
You can always
don't
might owe
smoke,
you.
don't smoke weed for a week and you will have, you are so poor.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're.
A lot of
not coming after
times
you.
comedians don't realize as well that they have money that out there that they haven't claimed, and they can use that to pay their taxes. Like that happened to me one time. I was like, oh man, I don't think I can. Like I hadn't paid taxes one year on my comedy stuff. Like I just ignored it all.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck. And then the next year, I was like, this is all gonna come and bite me in the ass. And then I was like, oh, I never claimed like my serious royalties. And then I was like,
yeah.
oh, I'm fine. A lot of comedians have unpaid.
Serious royalties are so much better than XM like XM pays so much better than Pandora and
Yeah.
Spotify. I'm with Taylor Swift on this one.
It's way more legit.
on most things, really.
Yeah, that's the only place you make any of that anymore.
Yeah, that makes you realize why, like, oh, that's why those guys were pumping out like an album a year.
Yeah.
Is it's just a fucking license to print money. If you're a clean comic,
Yeah.
and you can be on those clean stations like Justin McKinney and Goldman and
Yeah,
those guys,
true.
must get these fucking checks every
Goldman
week.
was making something like 50 G's a year off of, and this was before he really even hit it like he is now.
Yeah.
Like just by being such a good, clean dude. And what's her name too? Another one.
Carol Burnett.
No, what's the? She like works with the. She kind of works. She's a female.
Female. This woman is a female.
Irish last name, national headliner, works with like
Kathleen Madigan.
yes.
Fucking good charades there.
She gives
word charades.
She gives Sirius XM like all the due for making her a star. She
Yeah,
says.
because if you're, they'll play the shit out of you, right?
Yeah. Paul's producer instincts right now are so correct because this conversation is boring.
Nah, I'm not doing that.
No, I think I was thinking in my head, I'm like, we need to pivot.
I forgot we were even doing a podcast.
That's the goal.
That
I was
is
like,
the goal,
we need to pivot, and Paul was like, bang, and I'm just so happy with the direction this show's going. Paul's the shit. Anyway, so this is Board Polo. Let's watch it.
Just let us give a little taste of it.
They're on these weird skateboards. These are skateboards.
I completely forgot you brought this up.
Oh, dude. I saw it. It was Twitter they bought advertising on Twitter, and it was that thing where they were sort of pumping this, making it.
You couldn't go on Twitter without seeing it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, they forced it down your throat.
Oh, that's like what's his name, Eric Costin. These
That's
are
how I
some
missed
big time famous skateboarders here. But I do love like gimmicky sports like this when they come out and when they try and do different things. I do know in Europe though it's much bigger to have sports where
I didn't know you could move a skateboard without pedaling it.
you can, but
Yeah.
they're actually doing it on actual skateboards too, which is even more impressive. They're not on those wiggly boards.
Could you skateboard at all?
Yeah, I was into it when I was in
Could you do a kickflip?
high school. Yeah, that wasn't the big part of my. I was good at grinds. I could do small handrails and curves.
Is that why you're on Grinder?
Yeah, I was on Grinder way back as a teen.
It's an app for small sandwiches and skateboard tricks.
I was a teen grinder.
but
Didn't what's his name? Our baseball manager claimed he invented the panini.
Bobby Valentine.
Bobby Valentine. Yeah,
The
we should
wrap.
bring
Was
that
it
guy
the
back.
panini or the wrap? I forget.
He's
It was
an
a
idiot.
sandwich.
The wrap
though.
sandwich?
Yeah, it was. It was one of the,
That's a bold claim.
He was-
I
he
could
was
see the
also a-
panini because I don't remember seeing paninis as a kid. So
Yeah.
maybe it was Bobby Valentine.
Shout out to Lil Nas X.
Hey Panini.
Hey,
He also was a ballroom dance champion. Bobby Valentine's an
Yeah, he's a
interesting
great
dude.
guy. That
Yeah.
guy.
He's
He's a
so
little
happy.
guy. He's like
not a
super
great guy.
tiny.
Yeah.
I like that guy.
I hate his stupid mouth.
He was so funny though. When he became the Red Sox manager, he was like, "I'm only wearing Red Sox from now on. Only wearing Red Sox."
Can we
Great.
get some pics of Bobby Valentine's face while we talk about him? Because I just hate his stupid grin.
I would want my baseball manager to be as crazy as humanly possible.
I'll have to admit, when we first signed him, I was so psyched for the novelty. I was like, oh my God, Bobby Valentine's going to be a fucking Red Sox manager. We never get famous managers here.
I miss Doc Rivers because you could hear him screaming from like across the arena.
Doc Rivers was a fantastic
He was
coach.
fucking nuts.
He put together the best fucking team.
Stan Van Gundy's awesome. I love Stan Van Gundy.
I agree.
Just a little fat guy screaming at these giants.
Mike D'Antoni.
Mike D'Antoni's
Less
awesome.
so. I like the fat guy better though, just because
Yeah.
it's like you're watching the Penguin coach a basketball game. It's
Yeah.
amazing.
Bobby Valentine is every one of those fucking guys who comes up to you after a comedy show and goes, I got a story for you. I got a joke for you. I got something for you. Look at that one. This is probably why people who hate me. The same way I hate him. You know?
Yeah.
Do the face.
He does have kind of an old Joker face.
I get some people, you know, it's just nature of the beast. They're just gonna be like, I just don't like this guy. I don't like his
This guy's
face.
not my kind of
He's
guy.
not I just hate
Yeah,
him.
yeah.
You know, I know there's people. I read internet comments. I know people feel that way about me, and that's how I feel about him.
You read your internet comments?
Sometimes you just can't even help it.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
you're like the moderator, or you're the, or it's on your. It just gets. It
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
bother me very often, but
I watched a thing from MacGruber last night.
you
I fucking love
you
MacGruber.
love
MacGruber,
MacGruber.
And it was that scene. It was the scene where he blows up his entire team. Like the whole movie builds up to this awesome team he puts together. And fucking accidentally blows them up. And there were, I think, 22,000 thumbs up and like 17 thumbs down. It's like, well, what could your problem possibly fucking be? Like.
Dan Champion.
What you know you're getting.
MacGruber
Yeah.
is a great movie, and I love it, but no one champions MacGruber's underratedness like Dan Boulger. I
can't
watched
believe
it
people have
5
missed
years
it.
ago because you were like, it's underrated.
Yeah, yeah.
And like, you're still.
And nobody I tell to see, like, you gotta see this. Nobody tells me they like it that much.
I liked it, though. I did.
People
but
like it, but they don't.
not like you like
it. It might be my favorite movie.
Seriously, like,
I've watched probably that movie and Slapshot more as an adult than any movie.
It's a great movie,
because they're
though.
short.
It's a great movie.
They're
Will
super
Forte
short.
is very, very good.
Yeah.
Like, funny as a motherfucker. His character, Speed Reader. Do you remember that? It was.
I think
on-
everything Will Forte did. I think he's epically funnier than Fred Armisen,
Yeah,
who
yeah,
everybody seems to think is a genius. But I think Will
I
Forte.
think Fred Armisen is a genius, though. Fred Armisen's got that. What Fred Armisen does as a genius is the minutia, mundane human like behavior.
Yeah,
He's
but I
so
can
good
find
at
just
that.
any dickhead to be mundane.
Yeah, but like I think Portlandia.
I can
like,
pull
when I
off
watch-
mundane pretty easily.
When I think when I'm most impressed with Fred Armisen is when I watch Portlandia. I'm like, wow, this guy is a true kind of chameleon. He can do a lot of different types of
but I
real
mean,
people.
Will Forte is funny.
Yeah,
Will
but we're
Forte
talking about a genius.
super fucking funny.
Will Forte.
And all I want him to be is super funny.
I could never find the clip ever anywhere, but it's like it doesn't exist anymore. Will Forte was on SNL and Halle Berry was the guest, and it was Speed Reader, and he was like, "Do you remember the character?" He would do a guy who brought a lot of books to bars and would try and show off. He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm a speed reader, no big deal. I can read books." He's like, "I'm just gonna read the Bible right now," and he'd go, and he'd make this weird sound while he read, and then he closes the Bible and he goes, "Done. Poor Jesus." Always killed me. I always thought it was a funny.
Have you seen the spelling bee one?
No, I don't think I have.
No, it's probably on the internet somewhere.
Can you do it? I just did speed reading.
No. Honestly, I don't like Will Forte very much. It's like that one movie.
All right. Did you watch The Last Man on Earth ever? That's a
Nah.
good show.
First season was good. Took a dip.
I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
I did watch the first season,
Yeah.
and I was positive it got worse. Even I think every show is pretty much I've done that with. Like Eastbound and Down. There's no way this is going to be as good the second season.
That did have one or two. I didn't like the Mexico season that much of that show.
I just watched
I
the
didn't get
first
that
one, and
far.
I was
Yeah,
like, oh,
I
that's
didn't get that far
probably
either.
enough of that.
I do think, though, Eastbound and Down had one of the best finales of any show I've ever seen.
Really?
Ever.
So worth
Yeah.
it.
I loved the finale.
When they killed Omar.
Dan, you're so.
I was going to say
you're so
Wallace,
funny,
but Wallace
man.
got killed in the middle of the first season. I'm spoiling everything that happened in 2006.
I thought Mad Men really jumped the shark.
We have the same Mad Men line.
I know,
where
that
it's
was actually a very cool moment. Me and Dan were walking to Laugh Boston one time, and Dan brought up an extremely obscure moment from Mad Men, and
one of the only moments from Mad Men I even remember.
I sort of like finished it, and we were both, and I was like, I think about that all the time. I really do think about that all the time. When I'm writing, when I'm sort of talking to idiots, I think
how
about
much
that
you want to
moment.
cheat on your wife.
All that sort of stuff. But it's a scene from Mad Men where, and I've actually looked online to see like, oh, is there a million people talking about this? Not really.
No.
It is a few people that it's
Wait till he tells you what it is.
Don Draper's in the elevator with a sort of underling who works for him. And the underling is just so pissed off. Like, he's always trying to please Don Draper, and he never can. And he's just like, you think you're so great, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, you think you're so
One
awesome?
day somebody will tell you what they really think of you.
Yeah. And then Don Draper just looks at me and goes, I don't think about you at all.
Yeah, and then the guy
You
shit.
told me that before.
He
You
shit
told me that
and
before.
pissed all over himself.
Yeah, I've even recalled it before people, which it is a great. That was like peak Mad Men, and I think it's the third season or something.
Yeah.
like
The
that.
cigarette thing, the toasted thing. That was the first episode.
I felt
think.
bad for that character though when he went insane and cut off his own nipple. Do you remember that?
No, I remember the British man hung himself.
He did.
And
And in Chernobyl, same actor hung himself in Chernobyl.
That guy was in Chernobyl.
Yeah, and
Fuck.
I'm
Do you
going-
think that's how he got the part?
I absolutely, as the actor in me was like, that's how he got
Man,
this.
how do
They
you
were
work with an oscillating
like, they were like,
fan?
this guy really does
Yeah.
getting sad, writing a note, and hanging yourself very well.
Yeah.
Let's book him.
That's the worst typecast ever.
That is Hollywood. That is casting.
That or pedophiles.
We
The
know
only two
he can
bad
do
types.
it.
I'm so bad at that. I'm usually okay if I think like an actor was in a thing.
I'm very good with that because I think
I had like a
go-
whole idea for a script.
I follow
because
their whole career.
I was under the impression that the guy that played Jackie Childs on Seinfeld was also the lawyer in Rocky V.
Was he?
No, it's just a different mustachioed black man.
Mustachioed black man.
But they sound and look
Mustachioed
alike.
black
He
man
was like,
sounds like a lounge act.
it's my favorite ice cream
I got to
flavor.
open for mustachioed black.
Pistachioed black man.
Ben and Jerry's soul pistachio black man.
But yeah, so I had this idea for a script where the characters from Seinfeld could interact with Rocky.
It'd be so great.
It'd be so great, but it turns out he's not the right fucking guy.
But I feel like you could write those worlds together. I feel
Just
like
write
that's a
them
good
together.
thing.
Yeah.
Hey, yo, Adrian, I haven't masturbated in days. I haven't
Yeah.
touched myself.
The one I had like that I really wanted to do, I thought it'd be a good cartoon, is I think Dumb and Dumber and No Country for Old Men are the exact same movie. And you could just have Javier Bardem chase Harry and Lloyd around. So it's just basically that.
That's
really
super
good.
funny. You could probably edit that. Like you could edit
Oh,
it
fuck.
together,
I bet you
know?
could. Yeah.
And if you put a filter over it like that,
Yeah, so it all.
Yeah. I would like it I think if Woody Harrelson interacted with Harry and Lloyd would be fun.
wow. That's a good one, Dan.
Yeah. I've had it, I mean, literally the whole time I can remember. I thought, like, the first time I saw No Country for Old Men,
You're
I
like,
thought
this
that.
is Dumb and Dumber.
I thought that, but I'm not a doer. I have to ask you, I made a poster. I'm making a poster.
Yeah?
Have you ever sold a poster after a show?
No, that's a good idea, though.
I did that in Denver, and people would just come up because $5. I mean, who's not going to do it?
I'm always looking for something cheap that I can sell.
And I don't want to lug T-shirts around.
There was a guy
Smart.
who sells a little piece of wood. He's got like a joke about it, and he sells them for like $2 or $5. And I'm
That's
like,
great.
I'm like, what a genius!
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
selling garbage.
It should be fun. It's a picture of Mike Pence with like a cross and a gun, and it says "Impeach Trump."
Oh, you
Pence
showed
rules.
it to me.
Yeah.
It looks cool. I think you would do well with that. Me and Dan were on the same show though out in Foxborough, and I
Oh yeah. People go
wish
like,
I didn't say the town now, but I remember thinking like these just they're not getting it.
no, Foxborough. Foxborough is the south of the north.
Dan Boulger. I fucking was trashing Kowloon on Kumi's
Oh,
show.
yeah.
I got like caught up too. Like I had a real heavy New York day in New York. I did 3 podcasts and a show, and I was just like, and I was like making every podcast by like the skin of my teeth, you know, on these subway rides and everything. So I was drinking coffee the whole time.
So you're basically an animal reacting at that point.
Yeah,
You're not
basically
thinking
sort
at
of
all.
like people were just shining lights on me, and I'm like, and I was on with Halligan, and Steve Halligan, he's like, I just did he was talking about this gig, and he was like, I feel like shit, and I got in my car after, and I was like, why do I even do this? And I go, Kowloon, bet you $10 it's Kowloon, da-da-da. And then he didn't say anything, and I saw in his eyes that I was right, and then I kind of I like looked into the camera, and I was like, fuck Kowloon, I'll never work at that place.
Yeah.
And then
instead of having a host at the Kowloon, because it's just people ordering food and drinks and shit, they're trying to center the crowd. They should let people throw Nerf balls at the stage just to get them facing the right way.
That's what it feels like. People
then the
think I'm
middle
shitting
acting go
on
on.
It's not a good.
Some clubs are like that.
I don't like to shit on, like, I don't like to burn those, like, be like that guy who's like, fuck. But that's the only club I do that with because I fucking hate it so much. And people think it's because I hate, like, I'm not saying the comics that work there are bad or the comedians are bad. It's the room is terrible.
It's just a big mead hall.
It's a terrible night. Like, they treat you like garbage. They treat the comedians
parking.
lower than
There's
dirt.
parking.
That's
You
a
can't
plus.
deny that there's parking.
You get paid in cash and there's parking. Those are the 2 good things about it.
Those are, I mean,
And that's what keeps so many guys.
but there are
going there.
whores that say that.
I know. You feel
there's
like
parking.
a whore when you work that place. You get insulted. You get treated like garbage. The crowds are, like you said,
I was heckled by a man with
distracted.
no legs there.
I'm
once.
telling you, it's like the
One time I was
a
on-
girl threw cocaine at my feet there.
Well, that's good.
I know
That's
that was
and
bad.
cash.
I also had a biker gang leader tell us not to talk about them before the show. I've had like
Who were they?
I've had some kind of
A biker
I've
gang?
been threatened. I've seen a comedian there look up knock jokes on his phone before going on
What-
stage. I've
fuck.
been told I
I'm
wasn't
trying to think of
funny
a
by
biker
him.
gang that
I've
isn't the
been
Hells
told
Angels.
I've been,
Mongrels.
I've
The
been told-
Mongrels. Yeah.
Anyway, it's run by a golf club manager who thinks they know about comedy. They don't.
What
And the food makes you sick.
what was that show? Gangland?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was just exactly behind the music, but with
But with gangs,
it's like, but behind the scenes, the Mongrels were.
the Banana Boys.
That was a good show.
Huh?
The guy's voice was really cool.
Yeah.
I get stuck in that show every once in a while. It's because it'll be on in 5-hour blocks, and it's always on like a Sunday when I have nothing to do in the afternoon, and I just locked into shows like that.
Yeah.
And like Bar Rescue kills me. I don't even
Unsolved
like
Mysteries was playing when Dan came over. Unsolved Mysteries, I do Unsolved Mysteries on Pluto now
Yeah.
so much. Thank you so much for showing me that. I'm on Pluto.
Pluto.
What's Pluto?
Pluto TV is like this.
Former planet.
It's just this. It's like I have Roku now. It's a part of the whole smart TV.
It's an ad-supported free television channel. It's set up just
Oh,
like
I
cable.
want
so
it.
it's a bunch of
How do you
different
do
channels.
that?
Dude, it's
Pluto.
You download it?
Yeah. So an
Knew
app
it.
on your smart TV. Yeah.
it's like my new favorite thing. It's just like having cable.
It's even cooler what I have too. Is I have
Can I get the Celtics on it?
No.
No.
I don't want it.
Yeah.
I pretty much only
You could probably
take
get
in the NBC Evening News.
You could probably get skateboard
and
polo.
the Celtics.
Yeah, you can definitely 24 hours a day.
But I watch a lot of random shit. You know what I've been watching lately is like the classic cartoons.
Oh yeah.
I watch those a lot.
Been watching a lot of the Dallas Cowboys.
Racist, right?
cheerleaders.
That's a good one
Yeah.
too.
Like the
Racist.
old cartoons are real
A lot
racist.
of, especially against Asians. They
They
got it
we fought
hard.
the Japanese
time,
in
yeah,
World War
exactly.
II, and then
Yeah.
in Korea, and
The
then in
70s.
Vietnam.
70s had a lot of like
Also, all the MSG,
Madison Square Garden.
Madison Square Garden,
all that MSG.
It's the world's greatest arena in your belly.
Do you want to open that loot crate?
Oh yeah, Dan. That would be a good thing for our guest Dan. Both
What
of
is
you
it?
do. So, Paul. You want to
So
explain?
basically, I wanted to just rip off every internet YouTube video.
Is this a gift?
We want to do
No.
It's mine. I take it back unless
Paul's
you
stuff.
like something. Unless you like
How do you
something, you
open
can have
it?
it.
Well, let Paul explain it.
It's right in the front, right there. But
there's tape on it.
yeah, it comes in the mail, so people can't steal your T-shirt. But it's basically a subscription service. They've been having a lot of trouble with it, though. This is the June box that just got here yesterday. So they've been having a lot of issues with their shipping. It's usually just goofy stuff, a toy, a T-shirt.
This is for
So what is that?
Oh, what is that?
Fruit flies?
Salt shaker.
Could be for fruit flies. Feel a little candy.
A Zelda.
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Pin.
What the fuck is this thing?
It's like
It's like a random toy thing once a
They
month.
send you a toy once a month?
Toy and a T-shirt.
Ooh,
We're here for a T-shirt.
You're gonna like this shirt.
I was bitching the last time because there wasn't a shirt.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles blueprint. Of
That's pretty good.
Craig's.
Pretty good.
That's a good one, Paul.
That's a good one. I'll put it on right now so we can try to get a Loot Crate sponsorship.
Ooh. Did you put, oh, look at that shirt.
All right.
Paul's surprisingly ripped.
Hey, man. Yeah, you got a little fucking belly trail to your dick there. It's like the Nile.
Now we're getting the views. Now we're getting the views. Hey,
to north.
if you tip right now, Paul feels it in his genitals.
Yeah.
No,
I don't know why you
something vibrates
shaved
in
an
my
arrow
asshole.
in.
Flip it.
I don't shave it like that. That's natural. That's all natural. I don't shave my chest at all.
No way, because it's a perfect arrow.
It's just gross.
Paul's got that Ned Flanders body.
Wow, you do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Do you remember Dan
nothing at all.
Hirsch?
Wear nothing at all.
So is that thing. Let me see
Castle
that.
Dice Tower. I really like that.
All right. I don't know what any of these things are, but thank you, Loot Crate. And Loot Crate needs some good press. They
Can
filed.
we open that?
Yeah, go for it. They filed.
What's
for,
the coolest thing Loot Crate has said, or is this the first thing you've gotten from them?
No, we've gotten a couple things. Coolest thing, the T-shirts. Whatever the T-shirts are for
Always
me.
T-shirts.
'Cause
And
it's
what
always-
is it, like $20 a month?
I think it's $16 a month.
That's pretty good. Because
Yeah.
that's probably what a
Dungeons and
T-shirt runs you.
Dragons.
Exactly. And
Right?
I don't like to pick things out, so now I have a random T-shirt that I never would have bought on my own.
So you're more of a Pandora guy than a Spotify guy?
now I'm more of a Spotify guy, but I get what you're saying. But
My new album comes out.
I was
on Pandora
thinking of
today.
going-
for clothes, I don't.
I was thinking
care
of going back to Pandora because I'm just listening to the same fucking
Apple
200.
Music is good. I like that.
Yeah, but I listen to the same 100 songs every day now.
Yeah, I do the same thing too.
This
Yeah,
is
yeah.
the thing. You drop dice into it. You get your roll. It's a little tower. You drop
so
dice
it's
into.
Oh, that takes
Dungeons and Dragons.
the skill out of it. though.
Takes the difficulty out of rolling dice.
I like that game.
Dungeons and Dragons.
No, whatever the fuck that thing is. You could probably put quarters in there too.
You want to hold it?
No.
So if you want any
That'd be
toys,
a funny character guy who like just doesn't want to participate on a show. Hey, you want to hold it? No.
World's worst improviser.
Did you hear that guy heckle Kenny Capozzi at Capo? It was one of the craziest heckles I've ever heard.
No.
Kenny was like, "You ever think about?" And the guy goes, "What?"
It's great.
It was so funny. I was like, I might never
aggressive.
forget that.
Hey, did they close the curtain at Capo?
close the curtain?
Remember we were telling them like, hey, you guys should
No, that
close
was-
the curtain.
I didn't like that idea.
No?
And I knew management would not like it because the point of Capo, one of the things they like about Capo is that they want people who are coming down there to just like take a peek or use the restroom to be like, holy crap, look at all that.
It's like Amazon. If you like shitting, you might also like
And listening to these comics,
Yeah.
verbal diarrhea. Yeah. But Capo is pretty sweet, man. They've been doing so much.
best
like,
chicken parm I've ever had.
Oh my god! So I went there with my girlfriend's like family. We took them there.
Yeah.
And actually, her mom ended up taking us there. But it was like they hooked it up. Like they gave us some free stuff, and then. But it was also that thing of when you take someone to a restaurant with a food, like every single thing on the menu is gonna be
Killer. Yeah.
killer. It's just like I never had this experience. Everyone was like super happy with me because I chose the place.
Yeah. I
Everyone
went
was
to
like, wow, Will.
I went to a
Thank you.
place in Dedham. You probably know the place, the Brick House.
Yeah.
Killer like plate of meat. Everyone goes there, just get a plate of meat.
Yeah.
But it was like fucking 1 PM, and I'm like, I'm just gonna give me a beet salad. I said to the man, and they brought me I assumed it'd be like lettuce on it
Yeah.
and some beets. It was just a plate of beets
Whoa.
and like a couple little things of feta
Is that a
cheese.
stomach ache or is that
Huh?
good? Is
It was more beets than I've ever seen.
that's
I
gotta
like
turn your
maybe
shit red.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
oh,
mean, I
yeah.
think I had like 2 things, and there was like 2 shitty things of shrimp. Some places just have one good thing.
beets are great for your breathing. They're great for your lungs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Between that and the vape pens.
Between that and the vape pens. Oh god, me and Dan threw our vape pens in the trash this week.
I did. Well, I had one that didn't work.
It's good.
I'm done with that.
Yes, didn't work.
Mine wasn't working anyway, so I'm like, now's a great time to quit.
I was like I didn't even contact Paul during this time, but it was like.
I was saying it to you for a while, like that.
Well, I mean, I was saying
Yeah.
on my own.
I never thought that
fears.
the coughing thing
We
is
bu-
a natural thing to get stuff that's not in you out of you.
I think maybe the fact that we smoke weed is what's probably saved us from a lot of the problems other people who only
That's
vape
exactly.
have.
It's 100%. What a weed acts is like they call it an expungent, and it causes the dead cells in your lungs to like slough off, and that's what you're spitting up. So if you're doing
now
damage,
that's probably the type of thing where if you do like the 2 glasses of wine a day,
Yeah.
but not the way we fucking smoke.
well, how do you
It's-
smoke though? Do you? Use
I
a
smoke
bong all the
like
time,
an
or-
alcoholic on wine amount of weed.
Well, I don't think, but I think it's,
Yeah, me too.
so do I. So do I. So do I.
That's
But my
a great-
lungs are perfect. Do you use a bong or do you use a?
Huh?
My
Do you use
lungs are
like a
good.
water cooled bong? Or are you joints? Are you?
No, I
pipe?
do. I still do the
Bowl.
pipe with the aluminum foil. Is that bad?
That's real bad.
I'm just fucking.
No, but
That's-
like
I mean, that's horrible
that
for
burns
you.
the top of your lungs. At that
Yeah,
point,
yeah.
so
No, that's a
what
bad
fucks you
idea.
up.
Yeah, yeah. Chernobyl bowl.
Want to thank my. I just want to go back to the Capo thing. My girlfriend's mom took us all out. To
Oh,
eat.
Chacapo.
That's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah, so it was like so cool, man. And it
And what
was
you're
nice.
saying
And
about
Capo's not a.
I just want.
It's not like you're going to
not act like I
D'Angelo's.
took everyone, huh?
Like
Oh, no,
Capo's
it was-
pricey.
It was pricey, and it was. I remember thinking, it's one of those things where you ever notice how much cocktails really add to that?
Unbelievably
it's
so.
Like doubling.
Drinking. James Patterson once said, Drinking is like a job's amount of money."
It really is.
especially if you're going out to drink.
It's insane.
A good drink is $15 at
These
most
days,
places.
yeah.
It's fucking wild. I can't believe people get brunch. Hey, yeah, it's a $120 breakfast.
I know.
Yeah, fucking omelet.
My girlfriend has 2 beers usually when we go out, and it adds like
It adds double
$22.
the meal.
Yeah.
adds like a 20. It's I'm
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I always think like that's all my Patreons put together.
You're like that. That's like almost a whole eighth of weed.
Yeah, yeah.
Half of it.
Oh, and then you trick yourself into thinking you're drinking on the cheap. Like you'll go to like a place that has like drink specials in New York
Yeah.
or something, but then you're just hammered at 3 PM,
Yeah.
and then you're just gonna keep drinking.
Yep. You go spend money on something else anyway.
Yeah,
Spend
and you're
money on
blowing a
food.
guy, and then you're fucking.
You're blowing a guy. All right, let's do just shaving, bro.
That was
When
the
we get to you're blowing a guy, we're wrapping it up.
Wrap it up. But you sent me this, Will. Once a week, we do a Just Shave It, Bro. I'm bald, but we have like a public service announcement for bald people to either shave their heads or just figure it out.
was-
Get a toupee.
I was telling Dan about it on the way
Okay,
here too,
all
but
right.
also for all the new listeners and stuff. But you know Mike Whitman, our good friend. We talk about hair loss almost constantly. Me and Mike Whitman, and me and Paul talk about it a lot.
Mike looks weird
I have
with
like
hair.
a little thin spot in the back that kind of comes and goes. Mike is always on my ass about it, and me and Paul are always talking about it. So that's how this is like.
Whitman could actually grow like a Ben Franklin amount of hair.
Yeah, he could.
Which I think if he did it, he'd be famous in like 2 months.
I have
Kyle
said the
Kinane-
exact same thing.
Kyle Kinane is fucking great, obviously, but like I did Aspen when he was there, and he was clean shaven,
Yeah,
and he was killer.
but it's just
He didn't get anything out of it.
yeah.
2 years later, he's got a beard. He's the fucking spokesman for beards.
Yeah, no,
so
it's true.
weird
though.
that that could happen.
Looks
Yeah, yeah,
matter.
yeah.
Your look matters. You got to stand out. You
Yeah,
know?
yeah. It's a thing I never considered. I'm often in sweatpants.
All the time. Adam Carolla talks about 2 people he's known who were having problems getting writing gigs in Hollywood. They dyed their hair like a kooky color, got a new haircut, got glasses.
Yep,
changed
look
their
like a
name,
writer.
Change their names, start getting booked.
Strump and White.
What's her name?
No, they wrote the elements of style.
Dallas. The woman who wrote Juno is like a great example of that.
She's a stripper.
Yeah, but she had nothing. She had.
She
like,
ever write anything
she had
after
had
that?
some- yeah, she's still very successful.
Juno 2. No.
Juno
Yeah.
too. Well, I'd like to know what happened to Juno.
But we talk about it a lot, and we talk about hair loss a lot, and I think it's something guys in their 30s think about a lot. Everyone's at a different stage.
I think once you hit a certain age, though, you won.
Yeah, if you're fine by 30, you're usually good.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. And especially in what we do, like
It doesn't matter at all, really.
Todd Barry,
Greg
Carlin,
Fitzsimmons,
Greg Fitzsimmons,
Rogan.
Attell. Like,
Chappelle.
yeah, if anything,
But none of those people look bad. We're more about like people who look just sad and dumpy. That's
This guy, though, I actually watched this video. This is why I sent this to Paul, because I'm always kind of thinking, I don't think there's anything wrong with what this guy's really doing.
I don't
Doing
think so.
what?
This is basically what my dad does
What do you
every
mean?
month. He's having a toupee put on.
Oh, I wanted, when Whitman turned 40, I wanted to get him fitted for a toupee.
It's expensive.
It's expensive, but I think the expense of it would be the funniness of the gift.
But people were kind of shitting on this guy, and I was like, this is what my dad does
Why would
every
this guy
single
put-
month. And he looks so much better with it on.
There we go.
I would have a toupee, but I would once a month like throw it like a NFL headset. You got my copier on.
That is- I mean,
like Parcells
But
through
you know
his
what?
headset.
You're not. You
Damn
could-
it.
This is what my dad does my dad's done this every single month since I was 10 years old, right? So he goes.
They cut the toupee.
Yeah, they put
Yeah.
long hair on. It's human hair. It's glued to your head, and then that's that. And now this guy goes through the next.
Can you
30 days.
donate to Locks for Love under the condition that it can only be given to an adult?
No, but you can sell it. to
Nobody's
these-
sick.
You'd sell it.
No, I don't want my hair on sick
No
kids.
sickies.
I do like that this guy wore shades. He's a little.
That's the name of the charity.
What is it?
No sickies.
No sickies.
Just hair for vanity.
no sickies.com.
Just for vanity's sake.
I'll give blood, but
Is
I
that
don't want...
Gilbert Gottfried? No.
That's
But this...
I was gonna say that's Gilbert Fleet.
Hey, that would work. I think you could get 50 people out to see Gilbert Gottfried.
Godfleet. Wow, that guy looks so much better.
It's a whole different person, it looks like. He looks sad hair, too, which is even funnier.
Sometimes though, an old face with that much young hair looks a little.
Super weird.
Strange,
Former
yeah.
landlord in New York. Yeah, old Greek guy. Looked like he was 80 years old. Jet black hair. There's a guy that walks around here. He's like 80. He's got Elvis hair. You know that guy?
We all know him. Actually, he's a plumber.
He's a plumber?
Yeah, he was our
Oh, give
plumber.
me his number.
At our old place, he was.
I thought he was a
plumber.
raving lunatic.
There's a few guys like
Oh,
that.
I think he is.
That's
He is?
always That's always been a
He's
guy.
also a plumber, though.
My dad has added gray over the years. My dad's is now actually
Does he have multiple wigs where it's like, do you have one where it's like, hey, that guy needs a haircut?
every month he goes. They put one on, and at the end of the month they take it off. They throw it in the garbage. They put a new one on.
But don't some people have like ones that where you're like, hey, you just got a haircut, huh? And then there's another one where it's like, oh, you're getting a little
Yeah.
scruffy
A
there.
little bit,
you
yeah.
decided
Yeah.
and they
I
mix
mean, you
it
could
in
do
with
that.
your regular
dad
hair.
does it once a month, but you could go every day and get a new one put on. Like
Yeah, yeah.
a slight progression of growth.
Yeah.
If
Well,
you're
he-
really
I
would.
ridiculous.
he did
What
a
if you
slight
just had a
progression of
different
gray.
hat every day? Like a
I
top
thought he
hat.
did too much.
Exactly.
I thought he added too much. gray
Scally,
too
you get to
fast.
be the AC/DC guy for a day.
Well, now he uses.
What about a
yak hair.
mask? Just a full-blown mask.
Did you hear? Like now that
I don't think my hair or my face looks good.
Yeah, exactly.
just a fucking bag, just a garbage
It's a
bag.
fucking bag.
It's a garbage bag with a fucking smiley face.
I just feel
on.
more confident.
Yeah, I feel good. Don't judge
Nobody
me.
sees my
identify as a
horrible
bag.
face.
Once my dad's hair went completely white, and he wanted to have white hair, they now don't even eat. They use
One day
yak
a
hair.
week, I
Yak
rock a
hair
wheelchair.
Oh, yeah.
I just go out in
yeah,
a
yeah.
wheelchair just to change it up.
Pretend to be deaf.
Yeah. What? See?
So
Deaf Wednesdays.
I'll never tell Dan that my dad has yak hair on his head.
Oh, I missed it.
That's
Sorry.
why,
I'm obsessed with my
for
own
the
thing.
listener at home. They've heard me say it 14 times.
That's why I'm so.
My dad wears yak
Yak
hair on
hair.
his head now because white hair is so expensive and hard to find that and it's to dye.
What about a
hair-
dove?
To dye. My dad's walking around with feathers.
Tar and feather. Your
on.
head.
All right, it's time for scratch ticket.
scratch ticket.
You're
May do
as our
it.
guest.
All right.
Scratch the scratch
So,
ticket.
take it out of this town.
If we win,
Hey,
did
is
you-
this a
did you see,
dollar?
by the way, did you see Bradford's reaction when I was
What do
like,
I
If
do?
we win $500,000, we break everything. He was like, "What?
What? Yeah.
what do I
It's
do
like,
if I do the two ones on this side first?
Dude, well, you can do it however you like to do a scratch ticket.
Yeah, I suppose it won't change the numbers.
Yeah,
under it.
that's the fun part. Bradford.
I think there was 2 or 3 points with Bradford. It was like, these people are children.
Yeah, I think so. There was one part where
How did you get
he
the?
mentioned a name, and I was like, "I love that guy." He was like, "You love everybody."
Yeah, yeah.
That was funny. He's a funny guy. That was a really cool.
Oh, yeah.
him
That
to come over.
was a great fucking day.
That was a great day.
How'd
That
you
was
get in contact with that fella?
Met him down in. He had me on his podcast. He was nice enough to have me on his podcast down in Florida,
Yeah.
and we just sort of stayed in touch.
Think you can
and
get Vin Baker to talk Celts?
maybe we could get all kinds of people.
Can I be your
now.
Celtics commentator?
Oh, we love that, man.
Fucking awesome. I put $50 on them to win the over for the year.
Really?
Oh, nice.
Yeah, might as well have set the money on fire. I think they're going to suck ass.
I'm excited to finally have a team I can at least watch. I for 2 years I haven't wanted to watch the Celtics.
I just put $100.
Why? Because our best player's leg exploded?
It's just
Yeah. I was done since then too.
I hated
Yeah.
the signing. I honestly tapped out like when they signed Hayward and Irving. I was like, this.
Why? Because you knew his leg would explode?
I just knew the whole. I just knew it.
This white guy with little gimp little legs.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Can't
a team
real
that
fucking
matched up.
lemon.
We won nothing. We really do not.
I'm
ever
bad
win
at the
money.
lottery. I've
Well,
never
no.
won.
It's not a skill.
Have you ever? What's the most you ever won playing the lottery?
I've won like 500 on a scratch to go.
That's pretty
for.
good. Keep you coming back.
If you, yeah, it's.
I
enough
went
to-
through the casino and have you been to the casino yet?
Yeah, I won three. I won like $380
Playing what?
playing a slot machine.
Wow,
So
trashy.
it was, dude. It was a great story. It was quick too. So
There I was thinking that hat was ironic.
No, I was playing. No, all night I was playing video. I like to play video poker. That's kind of, it's like a slow way to just play
Yeah.
your money. I was sitting there playing video poker, and then I played a little blackjack, and I was just not winning. And I had that, you know how they have like those cashier vouchers or whatever? I had one of those with like $3.18 on it, right? And I'm like, I'm not going to go to a blackjack table with $3.18. I'm not going to play video poker. I'm bored with that. So I'm like, oh, Spider-Man slot machine. You know how much I love Spider-Man? I'm like, I'll just play that.
Does Spider-Man like pop around and
Yeah, it's all kinds of cool shit. So I'm like, I'll play this Spider-Man
cool.
slot machine. I sit down at it, and I like, there's like a million buttons, and I'll admit, like, I was just
With
kind
great
of like,
power comes great responsibility.
yeah, I was going for something, and I accidentally, it was a touch screen. I like tap something, and it just starts going, and then it just
Cool.
goes like, bang, 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 and I hit like I hit max bet, and I won. And this Asian dude is looking at me like, because to him it looked like I just like sat down, was like, bing, boom, and it was like, throw out $380, cash out, thank you, leave. Like went back and cashed it in and went back to my room.
It's
a
smoked
good
the bowl, went
gambling
back to my
story.
room. Yeah, it was a happy ending.
You did a show there?
Yeah, I was there with Greg. I was opening for Greg Fitzsimmons.
In
Fitzdal,
Everett?
in Springfield.
Oh,
You're talking
okay.
about that, yeah.
I went to the Everett one.
I haven't been to that one yet.
Yeah.
Is it cool?
No.
No.
Did you take the boat
They kept
over?
they kept my favorite police, Mike's roast beef,
Is that there?
across the corner. Yeah. It's only 2 pictures hanging up. One is of who's the guy from Brockton, fighter.
Oh, Rocky Marciano.
No, black fella.
Oh,
Apollo Creed. Him
fuck.
and Dave Russo.
whoa, really?
Yeah, so I was
Good for
kissed the
Russo.
Russo.
I got my picture up in the Great Cuts in Quincy, Massachusetts.
Oh, that's great.
That's
You
my
still get
claim to
your
fame.
haircut there?
Yeah, I still go there from time to time. I'm like, give me the me.
Oh, that's wonderful. And that's good. Is your hair look good in the picture?
It does, yeah.
So you're like, yeah, just give me this guy.
It's pretty
Yeah.
sweet, actually.
Yeah.
Favorite things.
Somebody saw a life hack once that said, put a picture of yourself in your wallet with a good haircut so when you go to get a good haircut.
It's true.
But
now
then somebody finds your wallet and they just see a picture
now
of
you
you.
can- now you can do it in your phone.
Your phone. Yeah.
Anything to promote, Dan?
Making a poster.
That's cool, though.
Awesome.
This guy hired as a Celtics correspondent for the
Yeah, check out. Well, first of all, Dan's often with us at Capo on Monday. Come see us.
Capo Chicken Parm. The gelato season is ended.
Holy shit! Guess what? This is so crazy. Josh Day sent me a text before the show. I saw your commercial, and then he just said, "I saw it on the Pluto TV app." And he's not even watching this show, so 2 Pluto TV apps.
Hey, send
need
him
a sponsor
send him
for
back. Send him back. No fat sticks. He'll know what it means.
No what?
No fat sticks.
No fat sticks.
Me and him were stoned one day and we were laughing on the way to a gig about how dogs love sticks, but you never see them like, oh, fuck, a tree. And it's because they have a no fat sticks policy.
On that note, no fat sticks. That's the title of this episode. Peace out.